If anyone has any questions, please put them in the chat. I did want to start off with a few questions. Could you guys talk a little bit about what the maximum amount of loans is that our students can take per year? And then just kind of all of these students are admitted. So could you just kind of go through what they should be expecting right now during this time, since they've just accepted their offers of admission and they've just registered for classes? They may have submitted their FAFSAs already. Could you please go through what the next steps are after they've completed and submitted the FAFSA and University of Baltimore has it? What should they be seeing in their portal, and what should their next steps be?
Yep. Um, so if you've all been admitted at this point, basically your FAFSA application should be loaded onto your UB account. We don't load FAFSAs until a student has been admitted. So as long as you've been admitted, it should be on file. And when you go into your um, My Student Portal, or My Student Center, sorry, you click on the Financial Aid tab, and that's where you should be able to see that your FAFSA has been received. Hopefully, if it's been received, you've also hopefully been awarded. But if you haven't been awarded, there could be a few different reasons why. It's possible that you could have to submit additional information, which should be on your to-do list. Sometimes it's also possible we might have to do something, which means we might have to say review your loan history, or even though you may have been even if it's applied for your potential undergraduate loans, if you got close or near your limits as undergraduate, we have to review your loan history just to make sure that you weren't over awarded anywhere else, and see if we need to get that cleared up first. So the two places you really check are your to-do list first, and then under your financial aid tab, which should then show if everything's been received. At that point, then, if nothing else listed on those two, you should then be going through the awarding process. We really just started awarding the bulk of our graduate students for the upcoming year, especially our new ones, over the last 2 weeks. So if you've been, I would say definitely reach out to us if you feel that you've, been admitted more than 2 weeks, basically, and that we should have your FAFSA. If you don't see anything yet, you can please reach out to me or Terry directly, basically, and just ask us what the status is to check on it. If you were just submitted, say, yesterday or a few days ago, last week, I would say just to allow 2 weeks for everything to be awarded to you. However, we do awarding a couple times weekly. So if you are a little more anxious, once again, just please feel free to reach out to us anytime for any sort of updates. And Yasmin did make me think of a good point in regards to the annual loan limits and the lifetime loan limits. So as a undergraduate student, you're able to borrow $57,500 total between your subsidized and unsubsidized loans. As a graduate student, that limit does raise up to $138,500. Hopefully, hopefully don't have to go that high. However, though, the max can borrow per year is $20,500 in unsubsidized loans. And that gets really important, especially if you're planning to attend summer classes. We do see a lot of students now attending year-round. So keep in mind that when we award financial aid, we award it based on the academic year, which is technically considered the fall and the spring terms. So all of you pretty much will most likely be offered, or if you haven't been offered yet, $20,500. That'll be split over the fall and the spring terms. If you accept the full amount, or whatever amount you accept, it'll be divided evenly over those two terms. If you accept $10,000, it'll be $5,000 per term. You do always have the option to say that you maybe attended full-time during the, or you expected to attend full-time both terms, but now you're not attending full-time and you want to accept a little bit less. You can always reach out to us for an adjustment after the fact that you've accepted, if you decide that you want to accept a bit less, basically, before the funds have dispersed. And then
Tom, before you go on, let me jump in.
Sure.
Everybody, remember this: you must be enrolled at least half time, 6 semester hours, in order to qualify for federal loans. So that's 6 hours. Tom, will you explain that? And then you're going to cover Grad Plus as well.
I'll go over that as well too. Yep.
Okay.
So yes, you must be enrolled at least half time in 6 graduate degree level credits towards your program each term, each fall and spring term, in order to qualify for your federal loan disbursement. So do please keep that in mind in case you're taking any other courses that you need to be at least 6 credits towards your degree program. And then The summer is a little bit different, where you have to be enrolled in at least 3 credits as a grad student to qualify for federal aid. But I also bring up the summer too, because if you, if you're, what happens when the summer term comes around, if you register for the summer, we'll first review you to award you any remaining funding left from that 20,500 you were initially offered at the beginning of the year. So just keep in mind, if you plan to attend the summer, you need to borrow loans. Hopefully you can kind of plan it out where, maybe I need to borrow $5,000 for the fall and the spring, but then I'm going to take one class during the summer. So then I'm going to make sure I have at least $2,500 left to attend that summer term, and then, not get stuck trying to, complete your degree going year round, and then have a bill that you can't pay for during the summer and not be able to attend the fall term. However, though, if you do use your full 20,500 during the fall and the spring, and if you need additional money for the summer, or if you just need additional money for the fall and the spring terms, you can be awarded up to what's your cost of attendance, and that factors in many things like estimated living costs, food costs, personal item costs, to help someone who might be going to school full time and not having a job during that time, and really needs to get all their bills covered during the time that they're in graduate school. If that's the case, you do have another option to apply for what's called a Graduate Plus loan. It's another type of federal loan. It is credit based, so it's based on your credit score. However, typically you just not have any potential like dings on your credit history, basically, and you can typically be approved for it. If for some reason you can't be, you can also get a co-signer if you have someone who can co-sign for you. But it does allow you to borrow above the 20,500 you get per year in the unsubsidized loans, and then up to the maximum cost of attendance. So if you needed like an extra $5,000 for the summer, say, to attend the summer term, it does allow you to borrow more money. But with those, there's a little bit of a higher interest rate, and of course, you'll be borrowing more money that you'll eventually have to pay back. However, though, that makes me think of something else. Just to let you know, in case you do already have out undergraduate loans, and now you're going to be getting graduate loans and potentially Graduate Plus loans, keep in mind that one good thing is when you do finish school, you can consolidate those loans all into one payment as long as you're sticking with federal loans. So we do always want to say, please, as much as we can, I would recommend stick to federal loans. Some students do go the private loan rate, and that's totally up to them. I always believe that if you're already borrowing, some types of federal loans, I would kind of stick to that, just so that way you're not stuck paying two different monthly payments once you finish school. I hit everything there, Terry? Or you got?
Yep, you got it.